Mark Wahlberg. You know, he was in town to chat with us about his new movie, which is based on the true story of boxer turned priest Stuart Long.
I figured it out.
Yeah, 7th time's a charm.
I'm being an actor.
Oh, God.
Academy Award nominee Mark Wahlberg has also, you know, become quite the business icon. He's in the fitness industry, restaurant, clothing, supplements, car industries. Of course, he is still acting and producing, and I tell you what, his new movie, Father Stu, is quite the uplifting drama. It's about kind of a lost soul who finds his purpose through the church. And guess what? Mark is joining us now. How exciting. Good to see you.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm great. I have to say, after watching the movie, it was like this range of emotions that I was not expecting to feel. Was that the intention?
Absolutely. You know, it's such a wild story. It is a true story. These are not the kind of things that you could actually make up, but we wanted to make sure that the movie was filled with lots of humor, lots of heart, and ultimately lots of emotion, but still giving people hope in the end.
It definitely, yes, it is. It's like, it's the range. And my goodness, Mel Gibson, so intense. We've seen him be intense before, but was this the most intensity you've seen out of him?
He is intense anyway, and he also has a great sense of humor, but it's such a great part for him.
Yeah.
You know, I got to really spend a lot of time with Bill, and Bill was obviously thrilled that Mel was playing him. Mel's played my dad now twice, but this was the first time that we kind of went there on an emotional level. And yeah, he did a fantastic job.
Was the theme of this movie really personal for you in terms of taking somebody through a religious journey?
Absolutely. It's not just so much a religious journey. I think it's obviously a story of redemption, but this is a movie for everybody. You don't have to be Catholic or Christian to really identify with this. This is the kind of story and the kind of subject matter that everybody's dealing with. I think even it's touching people even more so now because we're living through a pandemic and there's so much uncertainty in the world, and you know, you're dealing with inevitably mortality, right? So everybody's facing it, everybody's dealing with it at one time or another, but how you deal with it and how you deal with lots of other issues and problems. And this is a movie hopefully that's going to remind people that nobody is beyond redemption, and it's going to give a lot of people a lot of hope and reinstate faith in them and how they deal with things.
Hope. You guys, like, it's like that's what we need right now.
More than ever, you know, I really am trying to encourage people to come together, support one another. You know, inclusion is the most important thing, and really supporting each other and loving each other. So this movie really says that in abundance, and we want to spread that message out to as many people as possible.
What brings you here?
And I figured no better place to be discovered than the supermarket.
We watch a storyline in this movie of somebody who is on a bit of a rocky path, and then it's like the love of his life, or what we think is the love of his life, kind of sets him on a different direction. Did you relate at all to that with your wife and your relationship and your family journey?
Yeah, with my wife, my relationship, with everything that has to do with where my faith kind of directed me on my path. You know, I had a very troubled childhood, and then as soon as I started to focus on my faith, good things started to happen. And God didn't put things in my life until I was really ready for them, and I was deserving of those things and warranted those things. So, you know, when I prayed for a good woman who would love me just for me, shortly after that I met my wife, and the first time I asked her to go out on a date with me, I was doing a press junket similar to this, promoting a movie. I had a lunch break on the Sunday, and I was going to church, and I asked her if she'd come to church with me. And so that made a good first impression. I had a, you know, couple steps back. I had a couple of steps back after that, but you know, we're still together after all these years. So yeah. She's been my rock. So.
It really is impressive, and you guys hang on what he just said there too. I don't want to skim past the point where you say, I prayed for this woman, and having somebody that people look up to, like you saying that.
Yeah, well, praying especially for the ability to do the right thing, to utilize the talents and the gifts and all the things that God's put in front of me, how you handle those things, and especially praying for people that are less fortunate. So hopefully when people see this movie, it's going to really inspire them, but also challenge them to just do a little bit more, be a little bit better, and help somebody else that needs it, whether that's just with a kind word, some sort of support system, you know, words of encouragement, things of that nature, especially letting people know that despite their shortcomings, we're not giving up on anybody. We're encouraging people, we're inspiring people, we're standing behind them and support them to be the best versions of themselves.
Yeah, it's like a motivational speech movie. I'm here for that.
You know, and it's tough mercy. You know,
Yeah.
it's really tough. I mean, you think about the language in the movie, the violence in the movie, all of these things, all of the things that it took Stu to get to where he was to find his purpose.
You went through a physical transformation for Stu, too.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what that was like and what that entailed? Because I think all of us think of you as just being like the fitness guru.
Yeah, you know, it was one of those things where he starts out as a boxer. He was a very, very physical, talented athlete, and then he went to LA to become an actor. And he has, after this accident, he has this vision, and then he comes down with, he's diagnosed with this rare muscular degenerative disease. And so his physicality starts to deteriorate, but his spirituality is soaring. So that meant gaining a lot of weight and turning, you know, what was kind of me at my fittest into me and my least fit. And so that entailed eating 11,000 calories throughout the course of making the movie. And
11,000.
yeah, not fun, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I'm still kind of feeling some of the you know the things that come along with that.
Sure.
But you know, it just was part of the job, and it's very important to show how he went through this this battle with this disease, but how he did it with grace and dignity. So it's much more about him embracing it and saying, you know, that we're all going to deal with these sort of things, but through suffering you get closer to God, and that gives you comfort. We shouldn't pray for an easy life, but the strength to endure a difficult one.
Father Stu, starring Mark Wahlberg, Mel Gibson, Jackie Weaver, and Teresa Ruiz, is now in theaters. We'll link up the details on our website, cw33.com.